Hey guys, this time with a quick speed shop. Bam, check this out. We're bolting pieces fast and furious on the C10. We got core supports, radiators, battery boxes, inner fenders. I had to order a bunch of parts. Half of it doesn't fit. I'll show you why with the radiator. We got a monster Summit Racing aluminum Griffin radiator in there. Look at this. It's coming together. It looks like a truck again, almost. Let's get into it. Hey guys, we're back here at the quick speed shop. Sorry, I got the fan running here because it's hot outside. It's hot. 95 degrees out. And it's kind of warm in the garage, so I got the door closed there, got to run the fan. The front of the truck covered up here because we're going to do some paint work. I got the core support out. This is a repop unit from Keystone Parts, and what I'm just going to do is scuff it real fast with Scotch-Brite, and I'm going to shoot it semi-gloss black with Derek's Vice Grip Garage semi-gloss black paint that I've been using on other things, and then we're going to get it ready to mount in the truck. Last time I monkeyed around in the engine. Got some stuff going on there and put in a CB, got all the dash hooked up, got the drive shaft put in it, made and put in it. So we are like 1 or 2 steps away from starting this truck. So one of them is getting the core support painted. Then we can mount the radiator, which is aluminum, which will also get painted on the front because you always paint aluminum radiators black. I don't care what anybody says. And we'll get this guy bolted up into the truck. I'm just going to scuff this with Scotch-Brite real fast, and we're going to shoot it with black. Alright, now I just scuffed this up. There's a little bit of bare metal showing, but guess what? It's just the core support behind the grill. It's going to be fine. And the Vice Grip Garage Black is enamel and it'll stick to everything. So this will be good. We're not building $1,000 point restorations. This is good enough for what I care. It'll stick to it. So I'm going to get out the black. I wiped it down with acetone. So it should be pretty much dust-free-ish. And I'll fog some black on it. I'm just going to blow the rest of the paint on it and let her dry, put a couple coats on it, and we'll be good to go. We'll get the radiator and stuff out and go from there. Alright, the paint is dry, but I'm going to let it cure overnight. Man, this looks like $1 million. It flowed out really nice. It actually looks just like the E-coat, but without all the bare spots. And it smells like enamel. So I got that there. Here's the inner fenders, which I had sandblasted last year when I had the truck sandblasted. And they're good. There's one little punky spot in this one, which I'm not going to worry about. It goes under the core support. But the driver's side, passenger side. So we got those there. You see the 9 inches back in here for the Buick. I'd like to swap that in the car soon. I found this fan shroud that was in my trailer with the truck stuff. I guess it's a C10 shroud. I'm not sure yet. Oh, it must be, because it was on the... It must have came off the 6-cylinder truck. So I got that stuff. I'm having a problem, though. I can't locate my core support mounts for the radiator. And I've got probably not new rubber on the bottom. I probably got to make an order. Going through my bins and boxes here, I've got wiring harness and stuff. Actually, I should look a little bit better in here. Got wiring harness, and there's windows and doors, handles. Here's the harness. What else is in here? Wait a minute. There's something. What's this? Oh, wait a minute. What does this say? Timing cover to... What is all this? I can't tell what this is. It says timing cover to water. What is all this? Doesn't even look like my writing. Oil pump. Oh, you know what this is? This was valve covers. This was some, oh yeah, 472 caddy. I got some junk caddy parts somewhere. Ended up valve train pieces and valve covers. I saved the valve covers, but I forget where I got it from, but that's 472 Cadillac freaking parts. I don't think we'll ever need those, but we'll pretend that we do. So they're in there. This is my harness and doors, and that looks like hood bumper parts. Oh no, that's door. What is this? This is door parts. There's a door lock, so we gotta need them to fit to the door. The handles are in here, but I don't see any core support pieces. No, I don't. Not in there. Okay. Radiator hoses. I was just like kind of setting stuff on here. Exhaust tips. This is the problem. Too many restoration projects spread out over Hell's Half Acre for too long, and parts get lost and or forgotten about. That stuff's for other outside vehicles. I got a feeling I'd have to order some. It'd be easier for me to order some brand new radiator mounts, because I'm sure I probably didn't buy the rubbers for the bottom because I didn't think of that. And I scrapped the original core support that would have had. Yeah, I'm going to have to order some parts. So it's late night anyways here. It's after 4th of July weekend. Oh, wait a minute. Here's another bucket of parts. Hold on a minute. I forgot. I got a core support bucket of bolts here. This is promising. That was under the battery. Oh, I got to paint these. These go the corner of the core supports. You got wipers. Voltage regulator for the alternator. A horn. Oh, I see them. There we go. We need the headlights. Aha! I forgot that we had this one. Here we go. What's this? Gas, and that's the gas tank mounts. Aha! Here we go. We got rubber. Ooh, they're rotted right out. Dang. That one's rotted out. Shoot. But how is the top mounts? Let me come over here. These are the upper radiator mounts. Little crunchy. I guess they'll clean up. They bolt on top of the core support and reach out and grab the radiator, then the fan shroud screws into here. I guess these will clean up and wire wheel up and paint black. The rubber looks okay on them. But I'm going to have to order some new bottom mounts. So these appear to be okay, but I'm going to have to order some bottom mounts, and we should try to go take and see if these will fit the radiator. The radiator I bought at Summit out at the store in Ohio. They had a scratch and dent. I got like a $400 4-row aluminum radiator that was a display model. Right here, see it says demo. And will the mounts, it's for like a C10. There's so much crap on this. Don't fit the radiator. Dang it. What's the number on that? It says, yeah, right there, retail 400, demo. So it's some GRI 8713 radiator cross row. I ran the part number. I'm going to have to get some mounts that'll fit that, or we're going to have to make some because this is not wide enough. All right, let's bolt this core support on. We're ready to rock and roll. Where's my fluid film? What's over behind you guys? This piece of tubing, vice grip to the front of the frame I had on there when I had the front end kind of aligned with the hood, or I had the hood on it, the hood and the fenders and stuff. I put this on here. It lines up with the bolt hole for the radiator support and stuff, and then it lined up against the front. So I'm gonna use this to kind of get this thing back where it's gotta be, roughly. And hopefully I can do it without scratching the paint. All right, here we go. Here it comes. It should just drop down into position. I did some ordering of parts. I got some 4-row radiator clamps coming. Hopefully they'll fit this aluminum radiator. It's a Griffin radiator. And then I got them from Summit Racing. But then I went and I read a whole bunch of people had negative reviews of the Griffin radiator, even though I'm pretty sure it's made in USA. Ow, shoot. Scratch it. Said it leaked and all this other stuff. And then it was the thing of not being able to bolt it down with the factory mount. So hopefully, let's see, that's got to go right about there. Hopefully I'll be able to bolt it down. Did that scratch the paint up of that? Probably should have put some tape on that. Alright, anyways. You got to use hopefully you can modify the original 4-row, what do you call them, 4-row brackets to make it work. But it's because it's like an aftermarket deal. It's kind of wonky. But I noticed the Summit also has a copper and brass 4-row radiator. That's like, but it's like 400 freaking bucks. And I don't want to pay 400 bucks if I already got a aluminum radiator. All right, that's there. That's there. Let me tighten this guy down. Don't really want to buy another radiator once I got this one, but we'll see. We'll put it in. If it leaks, I'll have to order the copper brass 4-row. It's like a factory style replacement radiator, but I want a 4-row radiator in this truck because of the 400 small block. How bad did we scratch the paint? A little bit right there. Just kind of scuffed it. That's all right. That's behind the grill and the bumper. You'll never see it. So I'll go ahead and I'll bolt this guy down the rest of the way. But I think since this guy is bolted down, we will be able to take the inner fenders and we'll be able to bolt them in place next. They bolt to the bottom of the core support here. There's a couple of bolts. And then They also bolt to the cab. See, that radiator is going to kind of fit here. Yeah, it's not going to be too bad. It's going to be about where we need it to be. I'm going to put some nylock nuts on these body bolts. Snug them down, but we gotta, I'm going to wait. I snugged them down. This thing's not really going to want to move around too much. Let me just snug them down to some nuts here. I don't have any wash, or I'm going to put nylock nuts on this when I do it the right way, but we'll just snug it down here. We'll bolt everything together, and then I'll swap the bolts out. I'll swap the nuts out at the end when everything is in place. That way I don't want to loosen it up now and have it move. I should have just put the nylock nuts on it in the first place, but I got overexcited. Alright, that'll hold that for now. So I got to start paying attention. I bought a lot of this stuff new a while ago, like ORE. Oh, see, I just made a mistake. When I was on Summit last night, I ordered hood bumpers and hood standoffs. So there's a box of them right there. So I missed that. I also got some body shims that I ordered. That's good. So we got a bunch of bolts. You know what? This is like a standard. This must be a kit that goes to everything for the front end. This seems like an awful lot of hardware to put the front end together, but okay. Alright, I dug out a 5/8 bolt. I restored the factory bolts. I ground all the rust off and wire wheeled them. I got them hanging because I just sprayed some black paint on them. So I got a temporary back bolt we're going to use. And got the new front bolts. Before I bolt this guy on, we're going to take a little bit of fluid film and just dust it where it sits under the core support down here on the front, but you can't see them over here. Look, right here where they rust and collect moisture. We're just going to fluid film it there, and then here where it touches the cab, I'm just going to fluid film it there just a little bit. Now this guy should just slide right up in here. I think I can set it on the tire. Oop, don't scratch the paint. Oh no. Oh no, why is it? Do the tires need to be off? Or can I get it in there? Here we go. Just the sound of scratching paint, it's fine. That sets there. Let me get the back bolt kind of started. The back bolt has all kinds of play in it. Ouch. Sharp. Am I in the hole? That's what she said. Alright. I chased the thread, so this should thread right back in here nice. Alright. Got that guy. Where's my laying down blankets? Over here! As David Freiberger and Steve Dulcich used to call it, the space blanket. This is just a windshield sun visor thing for the sun, but it makes just enough action to lay on. Now we'll take our brand new bolt. Oh, bolts here, careful. All right, so now why doesn't this want to reach? Of course, it's all covered in fluid film. Oh, there we go. This is all right. I put a little bit of anti-seize on the bolts. Just to help them thread into here. Why is only the outside bolt going in? I think it's... Can this adjust in or something? Oh, there we go. There we go. Careful. Yeah, that looks like $1 million already. I think... Yeah, give me there we go. The, what do you call it? The fenders sit on top of these, so you got to put these in first. Or you can take them out and put them in last, I guess, maybe. But we're going to install them first, because then it'll help hold the core support and we can run all the wiring and do other stuff. And the bolts can always be loosened up and lightly adjusted. Oops, just got fingerprints all over new paint. It can be lightly adjusted once we get where we're going. I'm just gonna have to put the bolts in like mid-travel. The back bolt is kind of all over the place because it's got a huge hole. But there we go. That guy just kind of goes in here. You get the idea. It goes right up tight to the heater box and stuff, and then the fender bolts right on these two bolts here, so you don't get to see hardly any of this. All this stuff back here is hidden, but that went on there real easy. I'm just going to snug them down by hand just a little bit. Could just use these brand new bolts and big washers. I just am temporarily using to bolt this together, but I've got the factory bolts. I spent all the time just cleaning them up. Oops, I got to put the fluid film on. So since I clean them up, I might as well use them. Might as well use them. A little fluid film goes a long way for keeping stuff from rusting, especially when it's going to be metal on metal, like the core support and stuff, which will scratch and get bare metal and get moisture in there, then rust. But if we do a little preventative maintenance, it won't be so bad. I might try to get one of the front bolts in this before I put that back bolt in. Let's see if we can do it. You can do it! Oh, okay. Yep. Oh, shoot. That was not good. What happened? Have we scratched anything? No. Very miscellaneous scratching going on. Miscellaneous scratching. How about we try to hold this here. And get this bolt here. Right in the way of the camera. That's okay. Stop sliding around. I don't have the big camera guy budget for have a separate camera guy, so got to do a fixed frame filming. Now yes. Okay. Me and Derek from Vice Grip, the last fixed frame cameramen. Less fixed frame YouTube channels on YouTube. Of course, he's successful and I'm doing whatever the heck I'm doing. Oop. Get in there. You can do it. Yes. All right. That's 3 front bolts started. Bam. Only minor scratching. Minor scratching. Where's this hole for this guy? Way back here. Oh, that's my face. Oh. Can't see nothing. That's not it. Just poke around in there till you find the hole. Also what she said. Well, that was fun. Got those in there. Out in the truck in the backyard, it showed some kind of bracket that goes around the steering shaft to lock this in. Ouch, there's a fan bolt. But apparently it wasn't on the truck that these came off of, so I guess we're going to omit that, but Man, that kind of closed all this right in, putting the old inner fenders on there. Nice. Get these guys bolted down. But like I showed you, the fender, the inner side of the outside fenders bolts through here. It sits right in here like this, so you don't see anything past the center of this fender well. But that looks mint. Man, we're coming together now with stuff. I have new plastic jobbers for the headlights, so we could hang the headlight buckets in here. But I need to get this on and kind of going because the wiring harness goes across the front of this and a bunch of it lays around. I did order a new battery box instead of this one. It's got some holes in it, and it was pretty affordable. I just want to say it was like 50 bucks from Summit. This one really should be sandblasted, but then it's got a rot hole in the corner. I'll hang on to this for just because I can throw it up in the stash, label it. It's not entirely junk, but I got a new Good Marker AMD one coming for Summit, so we'll use that. And here's the bolts. I restored them. They're dry, and we'll put the regular bolts in there. But man, it's coming together fast now. If we can get this radiator mount here, they'll be here in like 2 days from Summit. I laid the fan shroud on here. I think this is going to work out all right. Hopefully it fits. The mount should sit kind of where this weld seam is. But I got the 4-core radiator mounts, which are wider, and we might have to grind them to fit. Like I said, we're going to gamble on this guy. It had a bunch of negative reviews on Summit, like a bunch of them leaked and stuff, but they're Griffin. I'm pretty sure they're made in America. But I mean, it's a 4-row, $400 radiator that I got for $100 on there when I went to the scratch and dent sale. So even with a couple little dings in it, I'd really like to use it versus buying another $400 radiator if I don't have to. So we'll throw it in, modify the mounts, and throw it in and see how it goes. All right, it's a couple days later, but bam, check it out. Big honking aluminum radiator. Don't worry, I'm going to paint it black. It's the first rule of aluminum radiators. Always paint them black. Don't ever let them show through the grill. Anyways, I ordered the 4-row factory replacement style radiator mounts. As you can see, this radiator is too tall to make them work. I've got the lower ones in there. I've got to trim the core support because they're held up. The lower ones are going to work, but the upper ones, I'm going to have to do something. I think I'm going to drill out the spot welds, take the mount piece off, and I think I'm going to cut this off, weld some straight flat stock, or it might even have to bend up, that will attach this mount, because the rubber mount will go around this weld. So it'll hold it when it's where it's gotta be once it gets on there. I'm just gonna have to do some kind of custom fabrication action, because this obviously needs to go down about 1 inch. So I think if I came here straight across and kicked the mount up, it would work. We're gonna have to do that. The lower ones are sitting in here, but this edge here they're wider than the edge of the core support, so I gotta grind this flush, and these will bolt down in the bottom will work. The fan to radiator clearance is good, and I think the shroud is quite wide, so it should fit the fan. We're gonna have to put the shroud in before final assembly, but let's go ahead and take a look. Just a rough look, see. Oh, the fan's going to be way in the shroud. It's going to be completely shrouded in there. But it is what it is. I definitely want to have the fan shroud on the truck because it'll all the air through the radiator. So the fan's going to be buried right in the shroud. Usually you want it like flush with the shroud or whatever, but actually that shroud is so wide we could trim it back if we had to. Trim it back and make it work. I mean, this is, you know why it's so wide or so long? Because the original small block Chevy that would be in one of these trucks has a short water pump, so the fan's going to be back farther than it is now. So the fan's actually closer to the radiator now. Yeah, we might have to end up trimming like 2 inches off the shroud to get the fan, because you want it to be able to move the air and get it out of there. You don't want it buried in the shroud. We might have to trim this down, which isn't going to hurt my feelings at all. It's just plastic. Might have to take it right back just to maybe half an inch off the edge here. Take like an inch off it. But at least the fan will fit It's got good clearance to the radiator. I mean, you could put, I guess, a 1-inch spacer and suck it right up to the radiator, but I don't think it's necessary. It's going to move a lot of air right here. And also, I went to the auto parts store, and I ran a belt number. I got this Duralast belt, so it's 1/2 inch wide, 44 inches long. So hopefully, we'll take this belt off and slide this guy on here really fast, so I'll have a brand new belt on. But I think the radiator's gonna, like I said, it's so big. We'll make it work with minimal modifications, and if for whatever reason it doesn't work out, I can always buy another set of these upper mounts and get a 4-row copper factory style radiator that will probably actually fit in here. But I would like to run this great big Griffin 4-row aluminum. You can see the 4 rows down in there. This thing is a monster freaking radiator. I would really like to run this with the 400. I think would be the hot setup. So anyways, that's where we're at. And I also ordered a brand new battery box from Summit Racing. It's an AMD right here. Battery tray for the style truck. Brand new from AMD. And it looks good. Like I said, that one could be sandblasted nice. But this one, you know, this was like $55 or something like that. So I can't afford to get that thing sandblasted and painted for $55. I have to get out my blasting cabinet and blast it, or if I had somebody else blast it, it'd cost more in this thing, and this is all brand new metal. So this goes in here, bolts like that. So I got to get this in before the radiator as well. Bolt that guy in. There we'll have a brand new radiator, brand new battery tray. Oops. So I'm going to go ahead and just scuff this really fast. It's just an EDP coat. I'll scuff this and put on some more Vice Garage Black. I also bought the battery hold down here. Battery hold down, and then I had, like I said, I reordered. No, I found these. No, I ordered the hood stop kit, but then I found that I had a hood stop kit already, so which is in this kit, so I got 2 sets of hood stop kits, but we got headlight pieces and everything else, and the hardware still laid out. So let me get this out. I'm going to fog the front of this black while I got it out. I'm going to put the belt on real fast, and then I'll show you what we got to do to get these mounts. We'll try to get these mounts going and get this radiator in here. But I think before the radiator goes in, the wiring harness is going to go on. So the paint's drying, we'll play with the wiring harness. One of you guys wanted Dodge truck action. Here we go, Dodge truck action. I fired up the black Corby Dodge just because I haven't run it in a couple months. Look at this thing, purr like a kitten. With its eBay carburetor and Amazon radiator. Look at this thing, it's mint, it's burning oil. Unfortunately, it's got a mouse in it because I fired it up and I was looking under the hood here, and all of a sudden a mouse came running out and ran away. So I don't know where the mouse is living, but that's not good. But look at this thing. It's like, I can't believe how good this engine runs for this truck being derelict for all these years. Aside from it smoking, but that's probably the rings and stuff being right out of it. It's sat abandoned for years. But she's running mint. Got my homemade fuel tank there. It's pretty awesome. Oh, I'm painting the radiator. That's why I came out here. This sounds awesome. Oh, look at, I bet that's mouse fuzz in here. Oh, the heat's on. She's a ripper.
They will be 2. What kind of driver are you raising? Funded by the Governor's Traffic Safety Committee.
Works.
The 2026 Hilton Fireman's Car.
I don't know while. The belts are squealing, probably because the pulleys are all rusty. Look at her purr. Purring like a kitten. I think it's also smoking. Oh yeah, she's still smoking. That's alright. A little smoke never hurt anybody. You know what also runs with 318? The Dodge Diplomat police car runs like a top too. That's kind of chilling up on the ramps. Let's go look at the radiator. I already got one coat of paint on it. Use the Vice Grip semi-gloss black. I'll throw another coat on. I just masked off the tank and stuff. All the tank is pretty much hidden on the inside. We'll leave it aluminum on the inside, but you know, the grill section is going to be black, obviously. Look at that thing smoke. Just like this one, I put this aluminum radiator in here. I think this is a Champion, maybe? Champion, I don't know, it's some Amazon one, but see how it's all aluminum in there? But look through the grill. What do we got? Black behind the grill. Can't even tell it's in there. Same thing on the brown truck. This has got aluminum radiator in it. Painted it black. Can't even tell. Unbelievable. So there we go. We got Dodge truck content. On request by the man, Dodge truck content. I'm going to go back. Let's go back in here to C10 content. Alright, I got the lower mounts to fit. I just took the Sawzall very crudely and cut up some slots and bent the metal out of the way with pliers. That's the only way I could get in there. And I've bolted the mounts down. And I painted the battery box real fast and bolted it on. And I hit it with a second coat in the truck here. So that's installed there. So the radiator should be dry enough to the touch for me to set it in here. We'll set on the mounts and see how it goes. And I also change out that radiator belt. I put that actual brand new radiator belt on here, so that's tightened down. So let me go get the radiator. Go get the rad. All right, here we go. Let's set this down in here on the mounts. So kind of like that ish. Nope. That way a little bit. Yeah, I think that looks pretty centered-ish. So sitting on the mounts, it doesn't really have a good tang to grab the mounts like factory, but it is what it is, I guess. I can see I didn't paint it quite far enough on the one side. You can see it peeking through the grill. I'll hit that some more paint, but I just want to see how these guys are going to kind of like line up on here ish. I mean, they'll grab it. They will grab it. Let me step back and look. Could slide this way, but then I'm really rather not do that because I'd rather sit the rubber on the weld. And it's kind of where it wants to be there, so we're going to go with that. Not quite centered. You see the edge of the core here, then it's behind the panel. Looks like it wants to shift, but if I shift it that far over, the mount on that side is going to be hanging out, and there's two sets of mounts that I picked. No, I can't shift over because it'll be under. It's going to be hitting the tank. It's got a less than a 1/4 inch, so I guess it's going to be a little bit offset in there. I'm just going to have to rattle can that little strip of aluminum you see on the front tank. It is what it is, I guess. These mounts like line up. Oh. We're going to have to go with that. This question is, from the surface of the radiator to the back of the fan is 4.5 inches. The shroud here from the pretty much the surface of the radiator back to the fan, I say 4.5 inches. This is 5.5. Okay, so We take it 4.5. If I cut like it, where was that again? From the core to the back of the blade is 4.5. So if I go, the core is going to be here, so 4.5. It's actually not going to be too bad. I'm sure I'm not going to be able to get this in here. Well, eyeballing though, it looks way inside. Eyeballing it. That's probably the difference. The 1.25" or whatever is probably the difference from a short water pump to a long water pump, small block Chevy. Plus the radiator is thick because it's the 4-row. But like I said, I don't want the fan buried in the shroud. It wants to be like centered, or like at least flush with it. You don't want it buried away in there. So I think if we take off about 1.25" or so, I think that'll be about the right number, and then I'll be able to reuse this plastic. I've seen where it's like all chalky. I've seen where they take like a Burns-O-Matic and shine it back up. I'll probably scuff it with Scotch-Brite and then shoot it with some paint, see if that does it. Oh wait, I had this upside down the whole time. Hold on a minute. This is the top. This is the top. I was looking at the bottom. So from here, these are where it mounts. Son of a gun. If we can get everything wired up with the radiator locked in place and like fluids in it, I think we're almost ready to start the truck, and it'll be able to lot drive it around. I need to tack the head pipes on so they don't fall off. These guys will lock this front end in once all this paint dries. I went to the auto parts store and I bought some steel 3/8 line. In the last video I tried bending up nickel copper and it just got all wonky and bent it up. So I've got some 3/8 line. That's steel. Hopefully I can bend this up and then I'll fit it up. We can play with that. This is that green coated line. We'll take it and paint it after we bend it up and get it fitting, but hopefully get that done. Like I said, once we get a little bit farther here, put all the wires on it and stuff and the rest of the fluids, we should be able to start the truck. And that'll be pretty exciting. Hook all the front wiring up, and the way that it is with the fuel tank and stuff in here, the brakes are all set up. We should be able to lot drive the truck around the yard. And that's going to be super handy because once it moves under its own power, I'll be able to move it in and out real easy, swap it out down to the pole barn in case I want to bring like the yellow Buick. I still need to put the Quick Performance 9" in it. I've been waiting to get this where I can move it under its own power to get the Buick in here to just make it easy, because I can park this where the Buick goes in the pole barn. And instead of using the tow bar and dragging it around in the tractor, it would be a lot easier if I can just boom, start it and drive it, obviously. So we're like 1 or 2 videos, or probably 2 to 3 videos away from running and driving this truck around the yard. So that's going to be awesome. It's going to start coming together quick here. Like I said, I got to get my doors out. They'll probably be in the next video. I'll get the doors out. We're going to fit the door handles and the locks real fast. So I'm going to run them down to my buddy, hopefully this weekend. Get him to paint those. I'll give him the rest of my first gallon of paint. Paint the doors. Then once this is running and driving, moving around, I can be working on the fenders. They just need a little bit of body work on the fenders. I can paint them. We'll put the doors on, then we'll put the fenders on. Front bumper, grill, all that stuff. Put the whole front clip together. The hood needs to be louvered. That'll be another project. Oh, I also got to paint the cowl piece, paint that. Get the whole front of the truck together. I've got to order the lemonwood yellow, or was it lemonwood? It's the 66 GM light yellow. I got to order that for the bottom. I'll shoot the bottom of before I hang the doors, I'll shoot the bottom of the rockers with the yellow paint, the cream color paint, I should say. I'll shoot the bottom of the rockers and the cab corners, and then I'll shoot the bottom of the doors, and then we'll hang the doors. Then I'll do the fenders the same way. But once all that's on, I can paint the box sides. They're brand new. They don't need any really work. They just need to be scuffed and primed and painted. Hang them on there, assemble the box. The rear fenders need a little bit of body work. They can go on in primer. We can get this thing running and driving, hopefully with some painted panels on it in like by the end of August. Like, I got to get this truck inspected this year for the registration. So hopefully by the end of the summer, this truck will be running and driving on the road, mostly painted, somewhat in primer, but it'll be most of the way there. I'm going to probably have to paint the hood and the fenders in the fall once we get it on the road. That won't be a big deal. But anyways, in the tailgate and stuff, I got to do some louvering. Louver the hood, louver the tailgate. It's going to be some work. So got to get this thing running and driving and moving around on its own power. That's the main goal. So I'll be working on that in the next video or two, and you'll see it, bam, right here at the Quick Speed Shop. Come on back. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment. And I got to go and eat dinner because it's now almost 9:30, and I got to go to work tomorrow. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Bam. C10 progress. Almost there. Getting excited about it at the Quick Speed Shop.